Welcome to Cambridge House Live. I'm Bridgitte Anderson, and we're at the Canadian Investor Conference, Vancouver, and I am joined by Toshio Masuda, who is the president of Masuda U.S. Research Center. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you.
Let's start off talking about the state of the Japanese economy. Give us an update.
Oh, Japanese economy right now is, it looks very good, but I believe it won't last long.
Tell me why.
Yeah, because there is some kind of difference or barrier between Japan and the Western nations or the people. Because Japanese people has no concern about conflict of interest, and they can be buyers and the sellers at the same time. You know, the buyer want to sell at highest price, and seller want to sell the products at the highest price, and the buyer want to buy at the lowest price. But you know, in Japan, they can be a seller and the buyer at one time. That's kind of interesting phenomena in Japan.
Well, tell us a little bit about Abenomics and the impact that that is having on the Japanese economy.
Okay, Abenomics, so-called Abenomics, consists of three projects. One is the QE, easing money, and second one is the public investment, and third one is the innovations. And so far, the first one, they call the first arrow. The first one is doing pretty good because the Bank of Japan, the governor of Bank of Japan is Mr. Kuroda. He released the easy money, 2.7 trillion US dollar equivalent.
And there's some concerns about this, though.
Yes, yes. That's almost 2 times more than the M2, which is the monetary base.
Yes.
You know, so that's very unusual. Its rate is higher than Fed in the USA. And so it's going good. So real estate price goes up and the share price goes up. And the so far it's going good.
Well, when it comes to the Japanese yen, there's an economic commentator, John Malden, who's betting that it's going to depreciate to a significant amount. Where do you think the yen is going?
Yeah, because yen gonna appreciate, even though Japan is the only one nation in advanced nations who are doing lots of money release, QE. And when you have a QE, and if other country is squeezing, like tempering a QE, the country which is tempering QE, you know, currency rate goes up.
Yes.
But it's happening in the contrary, different way.
Well, and just a couple of days ago, a senior IMF official said that Japan instead should be focusing on improving competitiveness.
Right.
And how do you think the Japanese government will take those kinds of comments?
Well, see, when you talk about the competitiveness, there are 2 ways. One is to modify the rate of the currency. The another one is innovations, you know. So at this moment, Japanese exports are very competitive because of such a big scale of QE. You know, 2.7 billion, trillions. And so export had an advantage, but look at the results. Since Central Bank of Japan, get into such a huge QE, the trade deficit, you know, increased.
Yes.
See, so this is kind of phenomena. It's, you know, going different way.
Well, and there is some speculation that there's a large group of Japanese investors that are holding trillions of US dollars in Japanese banks. So if in fact this is true, what impact would that have?
Well, see, it is very funny. The 5-year deposit, interest rate for the 5-year deposit is 0.05. So you deposit 10,000 US dollars, you get $5. That's annual interest. And now the interest rate in the market is 0.28. So if you deposit $10,000, you are losing $275 every year. But still, the people are depositing in the bank on and on and on, and finally now 15 trillion US dollars is the cash deposit in Japan.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, which is 3 times bigger than the GDP. There is no country like Japan. So this is the problem. Problem is money is sleeping and not working. And so Mr. Abe, Prime Minister, tried to give a pressure on the depositors, to invest in something else.
But that's not working.
Not working. And people like to lose the money. As I told you, $10,000 depositors losing $275 losing, but they like it.
So what do you think this means then for the future of the Japanese economy?
Future of Japanese economy entirely depends on the innovations. Strength of Japanese economy is nothing but innovations. When you look into the history of Japanese economy, but the mistake is done by Mr. Abe, because Mr. Abe tried to make a Japanese economy competitive by easing money.
And there is some geopolitical concerns at play too. There are situations for Japan and China. So how does that factor in?
Pardon me?
When you look at what is going on between some of the tension between Japan and China, so how does that factor into what the impact is on the Japanese economy?
The strength of the Chinese economy is one on the cheap labor, but now the labor is, rising up, and in a few years, maybe 5 years, Chinese labor cost will be as same as the lowest area in the United States.
So how does Japan deal with that?
Japan, two things. Japan is good, to China. One, Japan has lots of money, and China's debt is increasing like crazy right now, and Japan has lots of extra money, and also Japan has a very superior technologies, innovations. So that is what China wants to get, and Japan want to give.
So you think Japan is in a pretty good position then?
Yes. The more the China going for domestic investment, the more money and more technology they need from Japan.
Very interesting conversation. Thank you so much, Toshio Masuda.